Hello everybody, it's Miles here, and we are at the Durham Video Game Convention, October 30th, 2016. Lots of video games here. People are dressed up because they got in half price for being dressed up. There are a lot of retro games, some new games. People are taking trades, and it's a really cool atmosphere. I mean, they have video game tournaments, some Smash going on here, and people are just having a good time. I think I actually heard karaoke, which is a bit of a Halloween fright for me. So I'm here with Justin Ashley, who runs the Durham Video Game Convention. How's the show been going so far?
Great. Actually, the attendance has been great. People are sticking around, having a blast.
Have you picked up anything for yourself personally? You go around before maybe the show opens as organizer, you get to pick up some of the gems?
Man, I would love to, but I just opened a store and I'm here to sell and I'm here to promote. So maybe by the end of the day, we'll see how much cash is still in my pocket.
Your store, Fly By Night, you recently opened it. How's that experience been for you?
Opening a store has been a really whole new experience for me. For years, I just did conventions. I was independent. I did eBay, Kijiji, and having a brick and mortar takes a lot of work. And I understand why a lot of guys just stick doing the conventions because there's a lot of work involved. But it's, you know, it's kind of cool that I have like a 9-to-5 job now. It kind of legitimizes what I was always doing on the side. So it's been good. It's been fun.
What are some of the advantages if somebody's considering maybe coming out and being a dealer at one of these conventions as opposed to using eBay or Kijiji or Craigslist or something like that?
Well, at a swap, obviously swap is right in the name, so you're going to be getting the advantage of people swapping you good stuff for your stuff, and generally the trades are in favor of the dealer, so you know, you could end up with twice as much good stuff for a $50 game. You know, you could end up with $100 in trade that you just got, so it makes you inventory in that sense. With eBay, you got to ship it, you got to list it, you got to photograph it, and the eBay and PayPal fees, they kill you. So that's another huge advantage is here. You know, it's just all straight cash right in your pocket. You leave at the end of the day with a wad of cash in your pocket, makes you happy, right? And also, you're doing all these sales in one day, not eBay where you're going to be waiting like 3 months for everything to sell.
What are the advantages of maybe the people coming in to find some rare or kind of obscure old retro games that we all love?
If you're collecting for any obscure system like me, like if you do Dreamcast or Saturn or Sega CD, those are hard systems to collect for. And really the only way you're going to find games like that in the wild are at shows like this. Even guys like me that have retro game stores, we don't get that stuff traded in commonly. So you just don't find it even if you're going to go game hunting. You got to go to conventions like this to get that kind of stuff. And the other thing is you're going to be saving tax. And on top of that, you're going to be saving the shipping from the eBay.
Finally, I got to talk about this costume, man. You got the Power Glove, the Freddy Krueger Power Glove. What's your favorite Freddy Krueger one-liner? Can you give that to me?
Can I swear?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Welcome to prime time, bitch. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I'm here with the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and we're here at the Durham Video Game Convention. So many deals. What do you think of these deals, Macho Man?
Well, I'll tell you what, the deal's not too bad around here. I mean, the prices are a bit high, but the selection is good. I'm just looking for my brother Hulk Hogan. I haven't seen him around here, though. But I'll tell you what, there's lots of great video games. You come down here, you get a deal. Everything's great.
What do you think of Slim Jims?
Slim Jims are pretty good. I don't eat much Slim Jims anymore. They stopped my sponsorship, so they haven't been paying me much money. But I like a good hot rod once in a while. You like hot rods?
Ooh, yeah! I'm here with Canadian Retro, local hero, and somebody who is super familiar with all of these game swaps and conventions.
Absolutely.
How'd your day go so far?
Pretty good. I found some pretty decent finds all around. I'm pretty happy with it. Did lots of trades and stuff, so it's a pretty good show.
And you could definitely check out the stuff he picked up on his channel, but just to give people a taste, you know, just to say, hey, come over to the channel and see what else I got. What's one thing that you picked up that you're super happy about?
Picked up Bat and Kados for the GameCube, so pretty happy with that find.
And you could
trade.
And you can find out all the other stuff you picked up on the channel. Link will be in the description of this video. But you're doing something kind of special next week, and I really wanted to talk about that. You're doing a stream for a charity. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's the Extra Life Challenge, and the money I'm raising for it goes to Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto. It's on November the 5th. I'm starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to go to 8 o'clock the next morning, so the Sunday morning, and just so happens that's when the time goes back. So it's actually a 25-hour drive I'm basically doing. I'm going to be giving away games on my channel during that. I don't really know how exactly I'm going to be going about doing that, but it'll be something built into the day, I think, and a lot of different YouTube people are going to be coming over, play some games with me. I'm going to be live streaming the whole time, so it's going to be a good time.
Now, have you ever done a 25-hour gaming session before?
Maybe, possibly. I would be playing Ultima Online, so that was sort of, I'd probably put a day in at least worth of that sometimes and not even notice it. So I'm hoping the day will go by quickly for me playing games. I know you can sink a couple hours into games quite easily and not even notice it, so I'm hoping that time will go by real quickly for me, but it should be enjoyable. Like I said, a bunch of people are going to come over. It's going to be a great time.
Now, do you have any plans for being able to stay awake? Like, do you have like the Red Bull energy drinks, maybe coffee? Does that work for you?
I don't drink coffee or anything like that, so it's going to be interesting how I go about doing that. I think one of the main things that I'm pretty good at is once I hit past a certain point, I can kind of go off a delirium for a while, so I can really get there that way. And I think maybe the last couple hours I might have some Red Bull or something like that just to keep me getting the last stretch through, but that's pretty much it. I'm going to try to figure out a good diet to eat during that day or something that's going to help keep me awake, so no turkey kind of idea.
Turkey and gravy, yeah, and spaghetti and meatballs. One other thing I wanted to ask you about is that you're the judge of the Best Deal Challenge this time around, and I kind of want to get in your head and understand what types of things you're looking for so that I will have an advantage over the other people. So what do you value on a Best Deal Challenge?
I'm really looking for probably like the best type of game, like the best quality of game. For the money, I know that's more a challenging part. I think is to find like a higher end game for a decent price. So if someone's able to do that or get a bundle kind of thing, and if people are able to trade up, because I really like the idea of like the deal that people make. So if someone could like trade up something, you know, minor to get something major, I think that would be a pretty good benefit to their chances of winning.
Absolutely. I hope I did that. Maybe I didn't, maybe I did. You're going to have to find out at the end, and you'll be able to find out what Canadian Retro picks in his video coming up in the future. But until then, definitely check out his stream for Second Life Charity. It's going to be really great. So that was it. That was the Durham Video Game Convention, the second one ever held, and it was a great success. Now it's time to show you what we got. This is the first deal that we made at the convention. Canadian Retro and myself, we were looking at stuff at the same table, and we bundled everything together and then split it. So the following three games in total cost $22.50. We got Roscoe McQueen Firefighter Extreme, Gauntlet Legends, and a game that a lot of people in the community have been talking about. It's an Atlas game and a PS3 game, but it looks pretty interesting. I've been looking for it at EB Games, and I've been unsuccessful. So it is 3D Dot Video Game Heroes. It's supposed to be like Zelda. And then Canadian Retro took me out to his car for some sweet trunk deals. I had a game that he wanted, so we just did a trade. I got a loose disc Sonic Shuffle, which is for the Dreamcast. It is like Mario Party, but for the Dreamcast and with Sonic. And a shmup like Gradius, we have this game, Automedius Excellent. It's supposed to be like Gradius, made from the makers of Gradius 1 and 2. So I don't know. I don't know how this is Gradius, but it is. I posted a lot of stuff that I wanted to get rid of on Facebook before the event because I know a lot of collectors are coming out to this event, so I wanted to pre-arrange some deals. One deal was I had sold Medieval 2 for some cash, but to help that guy out, I also took Final Fantasy Tactics just to make it so that he wasn't spending so much money on Medieval 2. At one of the dealers, I was able to trade an extra copy of an Avengers Connect game, as well as an extra copy of Shadow of the Colossus on PS2 for a game that I've heard about. I've actually been listening to the Bonus Barrel podcast, and I've been going from the beginning and trying to catch all the way up. And in one of the episodes, they talk about Saturday Night Slam Masters, and they said it's a game that is like Final Fight. It's a Capcom game. It even has Haggard in it, but it's a wrestling game. So they said it's kind of funny, it's kind of wacky, and it is for people who don't even like wrestling games. If you just like beat 'em ups, Saturday Night Slam Masters. One of these tables had a box that said 2 for $5, and in it were a bunch of handheld games. So I grabbed a couple that weren't in English. I grabbed this one. We got a Retron 5, so we can play these on the channel. This one looks like a fishing game. Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, The Pumpkin King. So all three of those, I talked them down to 3 for $6 instead of 2 for $5, which, you know, whatever. Frazier from PPG and I worked a bundle deal together at the same place where I got Saturday Night Slam Masters, and Frazier got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game for the NES, and I got Gradius 3 for the Super Nintendo. I ended up paying $12 for this. One game that I was definitely looking for at the video game convention this time around was a Bible game, one of the Wisdom Tree games. I just think it's fun that they made religious NES games. This one's called The King of Kings. These are unlicensed, obviously, but it came with the manual. Look at that angel, just beautiful. And these have 3 different games in it. It's the Wise Men, and then a couple other ones. One of the bigger deals that we made was, it was a complete trade. I traded a bunch of Wii games, like Super Paper Mario, WarioWare, Smooth Moves, Donkey Kong Country Returns, and I think there was 1 or 2 more games. And I got some more foreign games. We got River City Ransom. This is the I think this is the original River City Ransom. It felt like River City Ransom, except you couldn't run, and people weren't dropping money, and the first boss was a boxer, and I couldn't beat him. We got this weird looking game. I got it actually, this was a throw-in, and I gotta be honest, I got it because it was weird looking. I looked it up afterwards, and we found out it's a Tamagotchi game. So take that however you want. I don't know if we will end up playing it. Now the real part of the trade, those were throw-ins, this was one of the main things we wanted to get. Pop-in music for the Game Boy Color, complete in box. It is a rhythm game on the Game Boy Color, and you can actually tell that this was the inspiration for Guitar Hero. Look at that. You got music that you have to play along with. It's almost exactly like Guitar Hero and DDR. It's crazy that this came out on the Game Boy Color in 1999. I think it's, 1998. It's adorable, and the music isn't great on it because it is the Game Boy, but it's ambitious. And the last part of that deal for the Wii games was a game that I've been looking for. I almost paid $110 for it recently in trade as well, but that was complete in box, and they had it for $60 loose, so I decided to jump on it, and that is Rival Schools. So this was a Capcom fighting game where it's different schools with different specialties, and they all battle it out. It's 2 discs. One disc is the arcade, and the other disc is the story mode. I have a feeling this game isn't going to hold up. I think that it's the graphics on the PS1 sometimes. I mean, it's like the N64. When you go back to it, you're like, ooh, I don't know about this. See, maybe it will hold up, maybe it won't, but it should be a fun time. As a quick aside, right afterward, Fraser and I went to EB Games because they were having a special sale, SNK Arcade Classics Volume 1. I think I only have 1, maybe 2 of these games. I also love that it's compatible with the classic controller for the Wii. I'm a huge nerd. I love the dungeons and the dragons. I also love the TurboGrafx 16. So when Retro Pixel said that he was getting rid of this Dungeons and Dragons: The Order of the Griffin on the TurboGrafx 16, I was like, gimme, gimme, gimme. Alright, before we get to the final few games, I'm going to showcase what I got for the Best Deal Challenge. That's right, the Best Deal Challenge continues and Canadian Retro is the judge. So Mr. Retro, here is my submission. A game, again, that I heard on Bonus Barrel. They said they liked it. It was a game that I was actually looking for. We got Fairy Tale Fights. Next up is a video game in a series that I love, and until recently didn't realize that this was actually, this actually existed on the PS2, and that is Twisted Metal Head-On. One of the things that I loved so much about Twisted Metal was that you had a bunch of characters to pick from, like a roster of hooligans, and you would play through them and you would get a story at the end of each game, like a fighting game. And the story was, when they win the Twisted Metal competition, they get 1 wish. They can have anything they want, 1 wish, and each person asks for something different, and sometimes it turns out for the better, sometimes it turns out for the worse. It's always a really fun and interesting cutscene that you get from it, and it's quite the payoff no matter who you finish the game with. So hopefully they got that in Twisted Metal Head-On. So we got Ratstan. This is the game that I'm hoping really pushes me over for the Best Deal Challenge. It's for the Sega Master System, and I think it's like Legendary Axe, so I'm definitely going to play it, looking forward to it. That with the other 2 games is my submission to the Best Deal Challenge for the Durham Video Game Convention. Mr. Retro, please choose wisely. You know, hey, I'm just saying, those are pretty good games. I'm gonna play all of them, and I love them. So, all right, 2 games here. First of which is a game that I got completely via trade of things that I brought in, and that is Impossible Mission 2. Yes, they made a sequel. No, I've never played the original, but Catherine has. In fact, one of her favorite games of all time was Impossible Mission on the Commodore. And then a game for myself that I saw Kevin from Happy Beard Games play, and I was like, I gotta get it, was The Legend of the Mystical Ninja on the Super Nintendo. Now, this game, it looks a little bit like River City Ransom. It has an overworld, but there's also mini games. It looks like a ton of fun. Konami made good games. I mean, they used to, before they were into just pachinko machines. So the last 2 games I got were actually from a Facebook group. This was a pre-arranged deal, and I want to give a huge shout out to Michael Burton and to Will Watts, who hooked it up and made this deal happen. First off, we got R-Type on the TurboGrafx. It's Airzonk. It's Bonk in space! So this is Bonk, but it's a shooter game. It's a shmup with Bonk. Flying Bonk with a lightning bolt in his head. I don't know if they're going to explain that. I don't care if they do or not. I'm on board. I'm ready to play this game. That's how the convention went. It was a really great time. Highly recommend that you go to the next one. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care, everybody. Bye.